Guys, don't ever pull fire alarms at school when there's not a fire in the school. You can't do that. It is not good. You'll get in serious trouble and you can get expelled and suspended. Yeah. Do not pull the school fire alarm unless there's a fire in the school. Or if you have permission to do it during the fire drills you do in the school. And when we go back to school later this month, and we see these things in our school buildings, you better not pull them, or else you'll get kicked out of school. I mean, this is only to be pulled inside the school if there is a real fire inside the school. And the reason why I have a picture of this pole station right here is because my school has them all over the place. And when I was younger, in elementary school, there were kids that pulled the fire alarm, and it was this exact pole station right here. They pulled the handle and the brake rod came off, and there was evidence from the principal that someone pulled the fire alarm. And the nice thing about this one, it says pull in case of fire, so this one strictly tells you to only pull it when there's a fire. That's a good thing about these pole stations. Yeah, that will prevent the temptation to tamper with a pole station is when you install these. That is what I like about these Edwards pole stations, is that there's a brake rod, so building supervisors can immediately tell who pulled the fire alarm, because this rod will break. And I mean, and this pole station was the most at risk being tampered with, since it's installed in most schools, and there's some bad kids that tamper with the fire alarms in schools. And 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 I seen this brake rod on the floor when I was in elementary school, and that was evidence that a kid pulled the fire alarm. Yeah, when you pull this thing, it will sound off the Genesis, it will sound off the integrity, because this pole station is tied to those alarms. And when I was sitting in class, the fire alarm went off, and there was an integrity in the classroom, and it went off. It like scared me. it like scared me half to death because it is a really loud alarm. And I seen this pole station and this handle was pulled down, and I said, uh-oh, a kid pulled it. And I could see the brake rod on the floor. This is not good. I mean, do not pull any pole station in a building unless there's a real emergency. I mean, there's a brake rod on this one, so we can immediately tell who pulled it, because the glass would shatter everywhere. Yeah, this is why these pole stations are good for schools with the brake rods in them, because pole stations are good for schools with the brake rods in them because if you pull this pole station, this brake rod will come down, and then there's evidence that someone pulled the fire alarm, and you cannot get away with it. That is a good thing about this particular pole station, is that they'll find out immediately who did it, because the brake rod will come off when you pull this thing. And okay, and someone sees glass on the floor, and they say, okay, who pulled the fire alarm and caused the brake rod to come off? In a school, it was a student that did that. Yes, it was them. Yeah, I like these pole stations because they're all over my school. I mean, this is one of my favorite fire alarm pole stations. And this one is common. This fire alarm pole station is common in a lot of buildings in this area, especially schools. I mean, in schools, this is the pole station that they put in a lot of schools in this area. Because in the schools they like to use this company. In the schools they like to use the Edwards Company fire alarm. And it's in most of our school buildings. I mean, Edwards signaling technology alarms are in most school buildings in this county. because that's what the fire marshal decided to put in. And this is in a lot of schools. This pole station is in a lot of schools around here. And over the lifetime of this, there was an accidental false alarm from these. Just like with any fire alarm pole station, because people were not smart. Bye.